In late June 2026, temperatures spiked past 35 degrees Celsius, covering a staggering 100 million people across Europe in a suffocating blanket of heat. The sudden, continent-wide demand for cooling pushed the electrical grid to its absolute limits, eventually overwhelming the system and triggering a massive power outage across large sections of France. Higher up in the Alps, the protective snow reserves blanketing Swiss glaciers completely melted away, exposing the vulnerable, ancient ice underneath to direct summer sun. The World Meteorological Organization quickly confirmed what the raw data was suggesting. Temperature records across the continent were falling one by one. Within days, rapid attribution researchers analyzed the meteorological data and issued a stark finding. They calculated that a heatwave of this intensity had practically zero chance of occurring naturally. The question then becomes how the planet physically engineered a disaster of this scale. Earth's energy imbalance, incoming sunlight versus outgoing heat, has doubled. By 2025, this pushed global temperatures to a new baseline, 1.37 degrees higher. This raised floor shifts the weather bell curve to the right, turning extreme heat into expected summer weather. That 1.37 degrees acts as a permanent preheater. Before any localized weather systems even arrive, the baseline conditions in Europe are already drastically warmer. On top of this baseline, NASA tracked a very strong El Niño developing in the Pacific. El Niño alters how heat moves across the water, which in turn warps global atmospheric circulation, heavily loading the dice for severe summer weather globally. These distorted jet streams and altered airflows carried that extra thermal energy directly toward Western Europe. These forces combined into a massive high-pressure heat dome, locking directly over the UK, France, and Spain. Acting like a lid, it compresses and superheats the trapped air, while its immense pressure physically deflects incoming cooler weather fronts away. Layering a natural ocean pattern over a warming planet transformed the continent into a physical trap. This combination of physical mechanics is forcing researchers to ask a difficult question. Does Europe now face a permanent shift in its climate patterns? The answer brings immediate, severe physical consequences. Cities like London were engineered for a historical temperature range, meaning their roads, rails, and buildings were never built to shed continuous extreme heat. In places like Berlin, public transit systems and power grids reach their breaking point when forced to operate for days outside their maximum design parameters. These infrastructure failures are the mathematical outcome of a built environment colliding with conditions it was never designed to handle. This chart shows global exposure to dangerous heat stress. Over the past 50 years, the proportion of the world facing these conditions has climbed from 16% to 22%. At 1.37 degrees of planetary warming, these severe heat events are no longer anomalies. They are standard operating conditions. Continuing to treat them as rare emergencies to simply endure and recover from guarantees escalating infrastructure collapse and human cost. Our safety depends on moving beyond temporary relief. We must redesign our electrical grids, rethink our urban planning, and upgrade our warning systems for a climate that is permanently hotter.